Hey, this is the Hardest Question video blog, and I'm the Reverend Russell, and this is the Reverend Dr. Mark Stenberg, the chief correspondent editor. The senior contributing editor, and this is what? Lectionary 14C, Ordinary 14C,
yeah.
And boy, have we got a text today. Luke 10, 1 through 20. First of all, a lot of verses.
What do you call it?
Oh, this is, my hardest question right off the bat is this. Who kidnapped Jesus and put this guy in charge? Like, this seems like some different kind of guy, this Savior. He's sending out the 70. First of all, evidently this guy has 70 followers, right? When have you heard about the 70
The
before?
12 and then those...
Oh, the other people.
The women from last week.
But I mean, have you ever heard they could just refer to as the
70?
No.
No.
So this new guy has 70.
I think it's waiting to become our next church.
Right.
The 70.
The 70.
Yeah.
And so he sends them out, and he has all kinds of rules, too, about what they should do and where they should go.
It seems so magical.
Right. It's like they have this peace thing, right?
There's all this ritual.
And bring your peace on them, but if they reject you, don't let it will return to you. Which I don't know what that peace is. And don't move around from house to house. There's a lot of rules in here. And then there's the whole thing. You heal the sick, you do this, and then, but if they don't welcome you, the dust, shake
Which
the
is,
dust.
in the prophetic tradition probably means something very important.
I feel like this whole thing, if you didn't want to go with my reading that somebody kidnapped Jesus and this is a different Messiah, you could see in this text there's so much coded language that I feel like might be, if you were really completely intimately acquainted with the rhetoric of Luke and a lot of Hebrew Bible references, there's probably stuff embedded in here.
We're telling you, do some more in-depth research and don't watch our blog.
Yeah. Than we have.
Yeah. I know one thing, the thing about like not moving from house to house is actually has pretty radical socio-political implications because it's saying don't jockey for position.
Oh, right. So if you just first come to town, the person who's most likely going to let a stranger is somebody very low down on the social ladder.
Stay with them.
Stay with them.
They're in the kingdom.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's probably filled with gems like that.
But it just comes off
But
really...
you got to do a lot of research to get
it
there.
really weird because then it goes on to do this thing that, like, you find at the rejected end of Mark, they threw it out of Mark, but here, where you'll be able to...
Snakes and scorpions?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, this whole thing is like all American revivalism ever needed. Just these 20 verses. It's all right here,
Formula.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the formula for American revivalism, you're right.
And if you don't, and there's this condemnation, this is really like one of the first fire and brimstone sermon, right? He tells them to go out and say that if they don't accept him, that they will be brought down like Sodom and Gomorrah, and they will be brought down to Hades. And all
worse than Sodom and Gomorrah.
Worse than Sodom.
Yeah.
All of which you wouldn't notice if you read strictly what the lectionaries wrote out for this week.
They got rid of the Sodom.
They took out 12 through 17, which is all the...
It was just too much for them.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. Shame on them. But we're not in the shame
They
business.
should repent in sackcloth and ashes.
Yes. So there's a lot of stuff here and a lot of work to be done, and maybe you're up for it because it's really interesting, or maybe there's a psalm you got in your back pocket.
If you would enlighten us, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, please.
We're going to be preaching on this, and we want to know what you did.
Yeah, let us know you preach. Thanks.
Bye.